What am I going to be doing on this lovely day? Recanting my shifting experience. So what happened was it was afternoon, it was like 1 p.m. and I was lying down and I was like, okay, so I'm going to do a little something before I go pick up my sibling. So I lay down in the bed and I had the meditation on. It was by Caitlin Grace, I was sure, but I had it on, I was listening to it and I lay down. And then so what the freak happened? Right. I lay down and I turned to this side, right? Flip the camera. I turned to this side, my left. And I closed my eyes and all that, all the feelings. And then I think somewhere around halfway, I didn't realize that I was meditating anymore. Like I forgot. I didn't realize I was meditating. I just felt warm and I was walking. And I was walking and on this side, on my right side, Shinso was over there walking with me. Now I had scripted in my most recent script for My Hero Academia that I would be walking to school with Shinso because I thought it was a cool idea that I got from a fan fiction. Nothing romantic, just platonically walking to school, right? But this is, you know how he is with the hero class. I scripted that I was likable, and therefore I thought it wouldn't matter because we eventually would have a friendship. That was the point. So I was like, oh, well, like it will matter. And I scripted it in. It did matter because he did not talk to me the whole time. He did not talk to me at all. He was there. He didn't have any headphones in. But he for sure acted like he did. Like he did not. But he kept walking. Now, this is like our third meeting. And he just wasn't saying anything. Like, at all. But he didn't, like... He wasn't hostile. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't acting like the first day. Maybe because I scripted that it was going to be likable. We platonically, in some way, shape, or form, would be friends. But he still had the hate for the hero class because I was in the hero class. And he just didn't say anything. So, cool. I look down and I'm like, oh, I can see my skin. Like, I can see my skin, like the actual texture of skin, like pores and everything. And I was a bit befuddled. I was like, oh, well, how come? Because it just, I don't know, it just came to me that I wasn't meant to see my skin. Like, I was thinking to myself, how am I seeing my skin? I don't know why. I didn't, again, I wasn't thinking, oh my God, I shifted or whatever. Because I don't even think it was a full shift. But it was more like, am I meant to see texture? But apparently I did. I ended up seeing texture there. But it wasn't like real 3D skin. It was more like semi-realistic, like video game, but not really the glitchy type of video game. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Like it was like a video game, like a 3D video game, but not where they hype up the realism. Just like semi-realistic. And it was nice. And I felt warm. I felt the warmth. I looked down and I was first of all, I was slim, which I'm not, but I was slim and I was wearing the uniform, but I didn't have the blazer on because restrictive movement. I just had the top, which I don't know. Even when I was younger and like I had to go to a school where they all wore blazers and stuff. I can't remember if I wore it or I didn't, but I know I didn't like wearing the tie. And I think in this, I don't think I wore a tie for my hair. I don't think I wore a tie. I did not. It was just my top and just there, and I just left it there. And I was walking to the school with the skirt. I wore the skirt, yeah. And that was it. And I remember like the vagueness of the uniform that I wore, and I did not have my blazer with me. I think I strapped it to my backpack and I was just walking and I felt the weight of my backpack because it's normally lighter. It was lighter than my backpack that I normally would wear, which is a bit weightier. So it was really good. It was really good. That's just one experience that I've had out of a lot. So, and by a lot, I mean like five, a lot. It's just 5. Because I said I was likable, because I said I was likable, I was all like, oh, well, this thing happened. Did you hear about that thing that happened in the news? And you know what? I was talking about events that I can't remember now, but they were important in the grand scheme of things. It was important in the little mini shift I had. I would call it a mini shift. I know there's an actual term for this, but I can't think of it right now. I'll just say the almost shift. So in this almost shift, I had this, like, I was like, there was things that happened in the news. One of it was with Mountain Lady and another guy, just some guy, some tree guy, I don't know. And I was just describing it. Ooh, spider. I was just describing it to him, and I was like, oh yeah, did you hear about the this, and this that happened? And he was just like, yeah, nothing. And that was like on a good day. Good day, it was the same day. On a good moment that he said, yeah, like he barely spoke. He spoke when I talked about the cat though, which is when, again, I like that. I was speaking, I was like, oh yeah, my cat, I'm gonna sneak her into the school, like I don't care. And he was like, and just continued walking, but he didn't hurry off or say something snappy. And you know, he would have if he didn't like the moment, he would say something snappy, but he didn't, which I really appreciated. But yeah, that was that was the event. That was a shifting event. Yeah. And what else? And it felt like a Wednesday. Like, you know, when you're like, oh, today definitely feels like a whatever day. It felt like it was Wednesday. Like, for sure, I was heading to school on Wednesday. But I was like, oh, well, today feels like a Wednesday, but it's a Tuesday. Isn't that funny? And he was like, But I think I was really struggling to bring up conversation terms because he was just unresponsive. So yeah, fair warning, people's personalities still exist. Even if you are shifting over there, even if you've made a script, their personality still exists. So you guys may not be compatible, even friendship-wise. Took one for the team and I found out. So yeah. I have other experiences too. I think one was with Jiro and, what's that dude's name? Blonde dude. Mirio. The second one was with the guys in 1A for some reason. I was part of the League of Villains. We will discuss that later. Again, none of it is like romantic. I'm pretty sure none of it was romantic because I didn't script any of that in. None of that for me, thanks. But yeah, so I had a few other experiences with the League of Villains, being part of the League of Villains, and trying to break into the school and getting caught by all of the guys in 1A, majority of them. And then one experience with, what's her name? Jiro and Mirio. And then I had a funny dream, which I can share with you later, of all the girls in 1A. Was it just 1A? Just 1A, but all the girls in 1A. So it was cool. It's cool. Yeah, if you want to hear it, let me know.